Hi. Raspberry has decided to join me again. For today, we're going to talk about my freshman year homecoming. I had a huge crush on this guy named Tyler. Well, we met at band camp. This one time at band camp, I met the love of my life who didn't love me back, but that's okay. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna dance. And I got dressed. I'm gonna go with some of my friends. And I like shyly asked him who he was going with. He's like, oh, Tiffany asked me to go to like split a ticket with her. So I'm gonna go with her. I was like, oh, cool. Tiffany was this just beautiful. I didn't know her very well. She was Tyler was a senior, she was a senior. And she was a drum major. She was in like the top band. She was really smart from what I remember. She seemed nice from a distance, and because we didn't really ever interact. And so I don't know, a week or so later, we're on the field, just me and him talking. Like we're on the field, just like chatting. Tiffany comes up to us, and so we're standing in like a triangle. He introduces us. I say hi. I was like, oh my god, it's so nice to finally meet you. And she like gives you one of those like fake smiles. She steps directly in front of me and is like, Tyler, we have to talk about homecoming. I was like, wow. F me then. Bye. So I was just like, well, clearly I'm not wanted. I'm gonna go. And Tyler gives me this like apologetic, like, sorry look. After that, I just refused to talk to him the whole night. And usually, I mean, we were next to each other for like 3 hours during band practice, and then he would always give me a ride home. That night I was not having it. I was like, I'm just gonna be quiet, or I'm gonna talk to Laura, the other person next to me. Typically after band practice, we'd all like hang out in the parking lot for a couple of minutes. I knew a handful of freshmen from like middle school, but I was the only freshman on like my line. Naturally, I would just hang out with Tyler and his friends for a little bit. That night we like put our instruments away, and I'm like, I'm not going over there. And I promise this has to do with homecoming. I keep like an eye on him because he's my ride home, right? So he's done with time with his friends. I walk in the widest arc humanly possible to get to the car, and we get in the car. He's like, hey, I'm really sorry. Like normally Tiffany was really nice, and she's just stressed about homecoming and all that jazz. Yeah, I know. Thanks. And we just silence in the car. Like when I get out of the car that night, he's like, hey, and he gives me a smile. I was like, hey, have a good night. So everything was like normal again. Fast forward to homecoming. I get all ready, I have a cute dress, I'm meeting my friends there. And we had talked about, he's like, hey, I hope to run into you at homecoming. I was like, me too. And like maybe we'll have a dance. And I was like, oh my God, I love dancing. Absolutely. I like look for him a little bbit, but I'm also like, hundreds of kids here. Like, it's fine. I'm just gonna dance. You know how it gets all like hot and gross and sweaty in the gym? I was taking a break. I walked out into the hallway. I hear like, Josie, there's Tyler. And I remember thinking like, damn, this guy's handsome. Well, I said he's hot because I was in high school, but now I would say, dang, that man is handsome. I held out my arms. He grabs like my hands and spins me around. And he's like, you look beautiful. And so, we're just like talking, and I'm facing like the entrance into the gym, and he's facing the doors. He's a tall, athletic guy, and so you can't really see me. And you know how you can, do you want to be down? You can like feel when someone is just death glaring you. I could feel it. So I like go like this, like to look around him. And I was like, Tiffany is looking for you. And he turns and like sees her, and he's like, oh, I should go. I was like, oh, that's fine, have fun. Like 4 10 3/4. So when you're super close to people and walking on a dance floor, it's just like a sea of torsos, right? And Tyler's like 6'2", and I can't see him. And like an arm like shoots out. And it's like, Josie, it's like, oh, hey. And he was like, are you mad at me? You walked by me like 6 times. I was like, I didn't see you. You're 100 feet tall. I just saw torsos. And so we talked for a little bit, say, like, oh, have a great time, blah, 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 blah. And a slow song comes on. I start to walk away because I assume he's going to dance with Tiffany. And, I start to walk, grabs my hand. He was like, dance with me? I was like, oh, okay, sure. Hi, baby. Like super closely with, because of the height difference, because he's super handsome. we try to slow dance, and like I can't reach him because I got a little baby arms. Pulls me in like really tightly, like super closely. Like our torsos are like this close, and his legs are like he's like squatting down. I was like, bro, we don't need to dance. You're like 100 feet tall, and this has got to be not comfortable for you to just be like squatting for a couple minutes. It's like, no, it's fine. We'll make it work. I just imagine that it looks really stupid because you can't really see me at all. Because his arms and his legs are like covering my body. So I feel like it just looks like he's like squatting in place and just, like kind of swaying. We had a good dance and I was trying to talk to him, but because of the height difference, I was like talking to like his stomach. I was like, hey, thanks for the dance. It was I hope you have a great night. Grabs my hand. It's like, hey, you really look beautiful. Yeah, so I was flying high forever. Tiffany would join us then in the mornings and she just would acknowledge everybody except me. So I just stopped hanging out with them until a couple weeks later. I feel like he made a point to tell me like they weren't dating, but like I clearly feel like you are dating when you're hanging out all the time. So it was the first time that anyone told me I looked beautiful. I do remember him saying that you look beautiful twice because it made my day. Little things mean a lot. So that was a really good time. That I was young and in love. I did run into Tiffany a couple years later at like a band event, and I did not say hi. I didn't like purposely not say hi. I was just like, I don't need to go over there. She's clearly not a fan of mine. So what kind of person just walks in front of you and is like, and now you don't get to be here. It just continues to do that forever. I don't really know what the problem was. Like I was clearly we were just friends. But she was not having it with me. So, which is fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm a lot and a menace to society. Anyway, I just thought that was a funny story. Thanks for spending time with me. I hope that this brought you some type of joy, entertainment, or if you had a Tiffany in your life that you can now look back and laugh about it. So thanks for being here. Bye.